Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Channel Up, where we dive into Nigeria's most trending and controversial issues. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you already know that lots of stories have been trending here, including Mohbad's death, which is one that has refused to die down for over 20 months now, if not more. Nigerians have been asking the same burning question, which really sounds like, what really killed Mohbad? How? Who did it if somebody was involved? So that has been happening for a while. Unanswered questions. Now we saw the Lagos State government exhume his body here. We saw a coroner's inquest begin here. We saw high-profile names dragged into the case here countless times. Until date, we are still faced with more questions than answers. Now, in this new development, a woman from the coroner proceedings gave a detailed breakdown, not just about Mohbad's last hours, but about the contradictions and discrepancies in the testimonies of those who claimed to be around him. Before I play the video or a short extract from her whole conversation, let me just remind you this case has involved lots of witnesses, turned suspects turned witnesses, and testimonies that seem to change depending on who was talking, when they were talking, and where they were talking, which raises eyebrows to why discrepancies exist when you were there, when you were an eyewitness. This is not just another celebrity case, trust me. This is a Nigerian tragedy. Now I'm going to play the video for you. Remember, there is an object of certainty in this video. Nobody knew that there were two nurses. This is the first time we're hearing that there were two nurses in Mohbad's house on the day of his demise. A nurse that slept over and a nurse that came afterwards. You're going to be shocked with this video. Stay tuned. More details after the break.
This case actually started 20 months back when the Lagos State government brought his body out on the 21st of September 2023, that they needed to, after a lot of cries, and that is a celebrity. He can't just die like that and just be buried like that, that they should exhume him for further investigation into his death, because he wasn't sick prior to the time, and we just heard about the fact that he died and he was horridly buried. Let me put horridly in quotes. So when they brought him out, there was a coroner inquest and all of that. So long story short, by 25th of September 2025, because the coroner had actually started, and the people that were around him 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, rather than be taken in as suspects, they were taken in as witnesses, and they gave their own deposition as well as testament at the coroner court when it started in 2023. So at the point in time, on that 25th September 2024, there was a stay of proceeding, and that lasted for 5 months, against the coroner court judge, Magistrate T. Shotobi, by somebody, they want to come on for one interest or the other. But eventually, the court reopened on the 28th of February 2025. And so before that stay of proceeding, there were witnesses that were supposed to come, and all of them came when the coroner reopened. We have Sam Larry, we have Naira Mali, we have the nurse, we have the doctor. There were two doctors. The first hospital was Kuramet. She didn't come. She has not come. And the other one was Perez. The man came. There was a private autopsy and toxicology by the family. The pathologist came, and all of them gave their deposition. Now, the reason why we're giving this interview, I'm of course coming on air to just let people know, one, that this whole affair, we're still on it. The interested parties are still asking what actually killed Mohbad. Do you understand? And then, secondly, to come and tell the angle of the new witnesses by their deposition, by their witnesses, everything that they have said. We see a lot of discrepancies, because the initial parties that came, they didn't give a right. So the partner, that's Cynthia Omawume Adebanjo, actually said that Mohbad died in the house. But later, I think it was on February 19th, this 2025, she went on television, telecast and podcast and all of that. And amongst our testament, she said Mohbad died 20 minutes right when he was taken to the hospital. But that contradicted the deposition of the nurse, Feishayo Gudengbe, that came to give her testament. That actually, yes, when she got there, she said she got there on the 12th of September, 2:30. But that wasn't what the driver said, because the driver came and gave his own testament in the court. And he said, when he took Mohbad to the show on the 10th, they all arrived home by 1 a.m. midnight of the 11th. And because there was a damage to his car, not because he fought with Prime Boy, his friend, he was the one that hit the glass, and the thing got, Mohbad hit the SUV glass and it got broken. So he said he cannot go without having that fixed. So that's why he followed them home. He actually took them back home and he did not leave. While he was there, by 3 a.m., some persons from inside, he didn't go inside to stay with them. He stayed in his car by the gates. So some persons came by 3 a.m. to tell him to take them to a pharmacist to go and buy drugs for Mohbad. And he's like, no, I can't go. I don't have fuel in my car. So they took Mohbad's car. They came back with whatever thing they bought. He didn't know. He didn't go out. But by the morning, his partner, Cynthia, came out to attend to him. He said he didn't see Mohbad. So on 12th, which was the Tuesday that they were claiming he had passed, he said by 9 a.m. in the morning that it was called that he should go by an unknown number, that he should go and report himself to the police station. But between 11 and 12 of that 12th September, that the matter became clear to him, because there was someone that actually contacted him to go and take Mohbad to the show. It was that person that said Mohbad had died. And he said he was shocked. So by 2:30 that the nurse arrived, he said he still met Mohbad alive. You see, all those discrepancies is what we want the government to look into by their testament. The doctor of Perez Hospital said Mohbad was brought in there, that there were CCTV footages to cover it from right when they entered into the hospital, and it was not even taken into any ward, that it was attended to at the reception area. And there was there was a CCTV. That what he first did as a doctor was to administer a first aid, and there was no response. Every stages of rigor mortis had set in. And he said he even looked at the sole of the feet. It was plain white with spotted black, which indicated that 3 hours could be more. And he said he advised them that they should take Mohbad to the morgue, to the government morgue. They took him back home. So that is that about the story about the reopening of the inquest. Now let me just talk about the pathologist. What's the huge difference in the government's pathologist report as well as the private? There was the indication by him, because he said there was the presence of antihistamine as well as caffeine in excess, and he wondered who administered that, signaling that there was another nurse. And of course the partner said that there was a nurse that stayed the night with them in the house before the other nurse came. So by that pathologist report, we were able to establish that there were 2 nurses.
You just watched that, right? You've watched what the woman said and you paid attention to the object of certainty, yeah? Now let me break it down carefully. First, let's talk about the timeline problem. One side claims Mohbad died inside his house. Another claims that he died on the way, about 20 minutes after reaching the hospital. Whether it's Perez Hospital, whether it's the other hospital is involved, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, the nurse says she arrived at 2:30 p.m. on the 12th and still met him alive. Discrepancies. I'm trying to bring out objects of uncertainty this time. But the driver's testimony paints a different story, saying he was alive deep into the early hours and even saw people going out to buy drugs for him around 3 a.m. You all should recall the interview of the driver with Very Dark Man, aka Vincent Martinez. Now, already we can see a clear discrepancy in the timeline. Was Mohbad alive when the nurse came? If he was dead, why was the nurse invited? Or was he already gone, as others claim? Secondly, the role of the hospitals. The Kuramo hospital, first of all, and the doctor never appeared. But we heard that there was a hospital called Kuramo. Why? On the other hand, the Perez hospital doctor did show up here, but his account does not seem to fully match the various testimonies of the nurse or any other person around. Thirdly, the partners and their shift of story is something funny. Allegedly, um, someone first said Mohbad died at home. Later, during another interview in February 2025, same person claimed he died in the hospital 20 minutes later. So why the change? What exactly was she trying to clarify or hide, as the case might be? Now, let's pause and think a bit. In most death investigations, the closest people to the deceased are the first to be thoroughly grilled. But in this case, according to the woman who testified, those individuals were instead treated more like witnesses than suspects. If you paid attention to the first 9 lines of this video I just played for you, the woman made a statement like that. The driver's account is another suspicious point. He claims he did not leave because his own car was damaged and he needed a kind of pay up or balancing, yeah? So he parked outside Mohbad's gate. He says he saw movements, including people rushing in and out at 3 a.m., especially out to get drugs for Mohbad. Allegedly. This small detail raises a huge question. If he really saw people in distress, why wasn't the hospital the first point of call at the moment? Let us leave that to slide. Another red flag is the mystery, the phone call, the mystery phone call. The driver said something like that. According to the driver, in the morning of 12th that day, he was asked to go to the police station and report himself by a mystery phone call. At the same time, he received information that Mohbad was already dead. Yet, according to the nurse, she still met him alive by 2:30. So was somebody trying to make the driver take the fall for the death or something? So why is there lie, or why are there lies, or better still, who is protecting who? At this point, the case is filled with contradictions, missing testimonies, and unanswered questions. For many Nigerians, it feels like the truth about Mohbad's death is being carefully managed instead of being openly revealed, as we all expected. The coroner's court is supposed to provide clarity and all, but with witnesses giving conflicting accounts over time on telly and physically, what Nigerians are getting is more confusion than closure or proximity. And this is why people are asking the same question. Was Mohbad's death a simple case of medical mishap or medical negligence? Or is there more to this story that powerful individuals are working hard to bury? This is the eating question that is gradually taking down the tentacles that are trying to make root passages, okay, eating them like cankerworms. These are questions that need to be answered. As it stands right now, this case remains one of Nigeria's most suspicious celebrity deaths. And from the testimonies we see and from lots of things we've heard, gaps are very evident. Discrepancies are evident. Contradictions are very evident. And silence from key players is something that has been turning brains around. Why are some people silent? Why are some people speaking? And my personal opinion is this: until the Lagos state government treats this case with utmost seriousness, the one it deserves, giving Nigerians a kind of transparent and consistent explanation, this story will never rest for those who are following it. Because in the end, the question is not just about who was with Mohbad. The real question is who is benefiting from the confusion around his death. That is the question. So let that sink in, okay? Let that sink in to all of us. Now, moving on, let's take a look at another trending issue tied to one of Nollywood's most controversial figures and somehow linked to the Mohbad thing, not because of what was said in the video, but because of the person in question. Who is in question? Iyabo Alice Ojo. Now, this controversial Nollywood actress, I felt, has been the talk of the town, especially in this video. Recently, a clip surfaced online of an elderly man looking very much like a traditional priest or an elder kind of, raining curses and insults on Iyabo Ojo. His words were very, very harsh. His tone was so bitter and his accusations were kind of heavy. I feel like it was an old video, but because it is trending, I felt like I should bring it up. Iyabo is trending, and she's trending for many wrong reasons. So I would unveil the video, so we'll watch more details after the break.
Iyabo has done a lot of things with men. He has slept with so many men. Yes, he has slept with so many men. When his own judgment will come, it will come from God and will suffer. He will suffer and die. That Iyabo will suffer and die. Watch him. Now, from here is from here to Abuja. Where's he going at Abuja? What business does he have at Abuja? He's selling Toto. Toto ló ń ta káàkiri. Because Baba Jesha did not settle him and the other woman very well. That's why they use that one to tarnish him. They don't tarnish him, man. God will surely tarnish that Iyabo. He will suffer. Watch it.
But what she's fighting for is rights, in my own opinion, because she said she's fighting against child molestation.
If he doesn't do all those wrong things in the presence of that lady, the young girl will not.
Welcome back. Now, we cannot independently verify his claims, but it shows how polarizing Iyabo's name has become in the Nigerian society. For some people, she's a fearless activist, okay? For others, she's an actress. For some, she's a woman with a controversial past whose lifestyle choices have invited public criticism. From what we just heard in the video, the old man is basically calling Iyabo out for lots of dealings, okay? And I feel like it was links to a case in the past, Baba Ijesha and one other actress and all. Now, whether you agree with his causes or not, one thing is clear: Iyabo is at the center of multiple controversies right now. She has positioned herself as a defender of lots of people, but critics have argued that her personal lifestyle choices have made her an easy target for attacks like this. But for the fact that the video is trending, that was why I had to bring it to your screen. So here we are again, from Mohbad's unresolved death to the trending video of Iyabo and her controversies. Nigeria has faced these stories even countless times from different individuals, and maybe that is the point. Maybe in this country, truth is not buried 6 feet under, it is buried under contradictions, public opinions, and silence from those who are supposed to speak, and for people who know better. The big question remains: when will Nigerians finally get the full truth, and who will dare to tell it? This is Channel Up. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So stay tuned for my next episode. Don't forget to share this video. Bye.